What's up guys, it's Dan here, Life Begins at 30, and today is the big day. Today is the 4-month update, so this is where it really begins, and I've seen such an improvement over the past month, and so has everybody else. People who I work with, people who I meet, people who just know me, has seen a massive improvement. So in today's video we're going to go through the things that I've done to help out the growth, the problems that have occurred over the past month, and the problems that I've had with the clinic, which is a lot less than it used to be, so that's getting better. So just make sure you subscribe, make sure you like this video and share it with people who you're thinking could possibly gain benefit from a hair transplant. So, I mean, the first thing I'm going to do is obviously show you my hair in this natural light, with a bit of light in here, and I'm going to run through it through video, and then I will put a different lighting on the hair to show you the density when the lighting is not straight on top of my head, so you can see here. And I've taken a few pictures which we'll go through. I'll look at the back, the sides, and I'll also talk about my my first haircut, my first proper haircut since 2015 maybe, so it's been quite a while, which is a lot different and expensive now, a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. I remember haircuts being like £4 and not £10. So yeah, so there's quite a few things to go through in this video, and I'm hoping you're going to enjoy it. So the first thing in the 4-month update video I want to talk about is looking at people's progression photos at certain lights. So I'm going to try and take a few pictures of my hair in different lighting and showing the difference that it can show. So I've seen a lot of the Facebook groups that I'm part of for hair transplants show the hair transplants that people have done for the progression photos like 6 months, at 4 months, and it looks really dense and looks really good, but they don't really show it in different lighting. You can see it's quite dark when it happens, and sometimes my hair looks really good when it's like even just in a bit of shadow. You can see that it looks a bit more dense than when the lights shine on it. So I will quickly show you my hair in this light now. So moving on, you can see my hair here from the front view, and if I look to the side you can see it from the side, and if I look to my left you can see my right hand side of my head going over. So you can see the density, you can see the change, and I'll just have a look at the rear as well. So yeah, as you can see from the 3-month update I did a month ago, the difference is dramatical. You know, I really started to see it push through actually after I was skiing 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago I let my hair grow out. You remember my hair being really long around the sides, and it really showed on the top because it wasn't that thick. So because this was all thick down here, you could really see it. So I finally went for a haircut and I got a skin fade, so literally a 0 here, and it's just blended in, and I had that about a week ago, and that's when I really noticed the difference. Because it was all I could just see skin here. Amazingly, I can't see any scarring at all on the back of my head. I think I took some pictures, so I'll put them up. And I don't know, I started feeling a lot better for myself, which moves on to like sort of the mental health pros of getting a hair transplant. Like, I never really thought that I was that bothered about my hair, but suddenly I've got this hairline, and people are noticing it, and I'm not worried about going out anymore. Whereas I don't think I was worried, but I used to wear a hat a lot, and maybe that was just in my mind. That was something that I used to go through. So I'm definitely going to do a video about the pros and cons of hair transplants when it comes to mental health, because it seems to be a big thing as well for a lot of people. So yeah, after my haircut I really noticed the difference, and I'm going to quickly show you some pictures. So it's a bit clearer than just this video. So you can see the top of my head here, and the left hand side and the right hand side, and also to the rear. So what have I been doing differently than everyone else? I see a lot of people on finasteride and minoxidil, and I haven't touched any of that stuff yet, not at all. I may do, as you can see the back of my head is quite thin still, so my crown definitely needs some work on. I could try finasteride, I might try it for 6 months. I have been taking saw palmetto, which is like a poor man's finasteride, I think it was, I once read it as. But that was, that's to reduce the size of your prostate, I believe. But its side effects were to grow more hair. So yeah, I've been using saw palmetto. And then I've been using tablets that have actually made me feel a lot better. So I started using multivitamins, something that I never really did. I've started eating a lot more vegetables. I'm feeling a lot healthier. Not this past week. I feel like I've had coronavirus for this past week. But recently I've felt a lot more healthier taking multivitamins. And I've been taking fish oils as well. Again, I will put the links down in the area below, so you can click on those and go and buy them from Amazon. I've chosen the cheapest ones I could find for the simple fact that they're fish oils and they're multivitamins. I mean, there's not going to be much difference between. It's like buying a pack of Kellogg's cornflakes and then buying some cheap branded cornflakes. It's the same shit, just a bit more expensive. And then biotin. Biotin seems to be the biggest thing that's really helping, and Nina actually told me about biotin. She uses it for horses and their hooves and their hair, and it strengthens the hair. And I really think biotin's working a charm for my hair transplant. My hair's getting stronger. My nails are getting really strong, including my toenails and my fingernails. And that is only, I think it's like £17 for a year, and you just take one a day. And what I've noticed is I've started getting hair sprouting over my face as well, so which is a bit odd because it's not supposed to, but all these supplements that I'm taking, these 4 supplements that I'm taking at the moment, seems to be improving my hair all over my body. I'm getting a lot hairier chest, which is different, something that I didn't really want, but hey, you know, I've now got a hairline. So yeah, and so if you look at my hairline now, you can see it here. I'm happy with it. People have said, I think someone said ages ago, don't you think it's too high? No, I'm 29 years old, and I think it's just the same as what it used to be when I was 18. Like, I had quite a high hairline anyway. I wouldn't want it any lower. I think it looks fine the way it is. On my last video, amazingly, I got a reply from Dr. Cinik's clinic from their YouTube account saying that, well, I was complaining about them not getting in touch with me through WhatsApp and stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to go into it too much because people have complained before saying, why do you slate the clinic? I don't slate the clinic. Like, they've given me a hairline that I enjoy. And everything's going okay so far. You know, we're only on month 4. I'm just giving an honest review. I don't want to lie to anyone. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. I'm not trying to sell the clinics. You know, I haven't been to any other clinics, so I can't sell anyone else's. Now, they got in touch with me, said that they write back to everybody who gets in touch with them. They don't. I can show pictures. I'm not going to. Just take my word for it. There's been a few times they haven't got back to me. Including about a week or 2 weeks ago, they called me up and they were like, we've heard that you are having problems with your hair. And I was like, no, I'm not having problems with my hair, I'm having problems with the pain. So when I'm touching my head like that, it's still really tender and it's still quite painful. And after 4 months, I've never really read this about anything. I've never read this about hair transplants, that after 4 months you're still in a bit of pain. And they told me, well, you just need to take paracetamol. And to be honest, I do not want to take paracetamol every day for the rest of my life. Whether it's damage to nerves or it's just my healing process is taking a lot longer than the average person, I don't know. They said they'll get back to me, and this was 2 weeks ago. I haven't bothered my ass to get in touch with them because I don't want to. I want to see how long it's going to take them to get in touch with me. They have probably forgot by now, so you got to remember there's probably about 20 people they do a day, and you're looking at at least 600 people a month if they are doing that. So they've got a lot on their hands. However, if you're going to ring me and tell me you're going to get back in touch with me, and once you spoke to the doctors, and I give them loads of things to say, I was like, look, it's still hurting, I still itchy, you know. And they were like, yeah, okay, we'll do this, use aloe vera. And I was like, yeah, okay, I've been using aloe vera, you keep telling me to do this and it's not working. With the pain, is there any damage to it? Have you damaged my head, indefinitely? What's the crack with there? And they were like, we'll get back to you after we spoke to the doctors. And they just haven't. So once again, their communication with customers is not the greatest in the world. But then again, you aren't paying for communication with customers, you're paying for a new hairline. So if that is the only thing you're worried about with the Cinik clinic, is their customer service, then you're looking the wrong place. I mean, so far the hairline I've got is looking okay. Another thing that I've noticed with my hairline, I think I've noticed with a lot of people's hairlines, is it's definitely not an expensive one. Mine was 1,700. It was cheap, and the grafts that have been placed in, and the follicles that have been placed in, they all stick out. They don't actually go down, or I haven't got hair that goes down this way. It comes up now. So when I do grow my hair long, I probably won't. I'll probably keep it this length for a while until I leave my job in July. But they do stick up, so if I was to style my hair, I suppose, it's going to be one of those slick back hairs. Can't see myself with that, but if it happens, it happens. I can push my hair over to that side. I don't know if it's easy if you can see it there. I can bring it over to this side, which is normally what I used to do before I lost all my hair. And as you can see as well, my hair's very thin, so this is for people who also have thin hair, as it does seem to work. Now I remember being told by Vera Clinic, when I put in my pictures for them, they said that my hair was too thin, that only 10% of the transplanted hairs would grow back, and that they wouldn't operate on me, so I wasn't able to go to the Vera Clinic. Which is very interesting, because then it comes back to something that I read the other day on Facebook, that Hair of Istanbul seemed to say no to people who had very weak hairlines or very thin hair. And I don't know if that is due to the fact that they don't want it to go wrong, so people can turn around and be like, well, I went to Hair of Istanbul and it didn't work, so they're not taking the chances on people who've got weak hair, thin hair. And the clinic I went to are confident with their ability to operate on people with thin hair like myself. So that is quite an interesting thing to think about when you're choosing your clinic. So I quickly want to go through different lightings for the results. So if I'm going to try and take a few pictures, I'll put them up now, of my hairline or my hair in a low light situation, lower than what it is now, and you can see it looks a lot more fuller. It looks like I've got that hair dust or hair, I'm going to call it hair dust, I can't remember what it's called, fibres, hair fibres. It looks a lot more that I've got that sort of stuff in when I'm in low light conditions. So say if I go to the cinema and it's lower lights, or the lights have been dampened down, hair looks good. There's been a time I think I went to a bathroom on a night out on Saturday, and the hair light was bouncing straight here, and I just then couldn't see my hair again, and I was like, fuck, I'm bald again. So there is some stuff like that. There's stuff to think about. The guy video who I posted before, he also talked about his density, and sometimes he uses fibres because when he is in like really bright areas, he can also suddenly see his scalp, and he feels like his density is not enough to hide it. But if you go back to my other videos, you'll notice that, you know, the hairline that I've got, if I put some comparison photos up now, you can see the massive difference that it's had from month 3 to month 4, and the difference is from even, I'll put a comparison picture of from the start, from like the very start, or where my hairline used to look like before I actually went and had a hair transplant, and you can see how much hair I'd actually lost compared to what it looks like right now. So yes, so to summarise this video, the 4-month, this is it, 4 months, you know, this is where the hair starts to thicken up, so it'll be really interesting to see what it's going to be like. 5 months, I might start doing every 2 weeks if I have time. I'm off skiing again for next week to go and teach some skiing, but when I get back next weekend, you know, I could put in a 4.5 month video, and then I'll put 5, 5.5, 6, and then we can start seeing the progress every 2 weeks instead of every month, and then look at comparison photos as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's give you a bit of clarity on what the clinics you should be looking for, a bit more clarity on mental health, the products that I'm using, which you can get from below. If I go onto finasteride or minoxidil, I will put a link. I've spoke to a website. Unfortunately, it's only UK based. However, I'll put the link below, and they've given me a link to put in to the videos so that you can buy finasteride and minoxidil if you want to at quite cheap prices. It's the one that my friend used that I did a video for last week. So yeah, subscribe and like this video, and I hope you all have a good day.